Back in Buff's locker room, Colorado was down 10, but outscored Utah 38-21 in the second half. They snap an 8-game losing streak in Salt Lake City. Get a nice road victory, 65-58. Head coach Tad Boyle joining us here for his post-game comments. And, well, Tad, you had Buff Nation got him on the edge of their seat there at halftime, and that was a heck of a second half.
Yeah, Mark. I mean, I asked the team one question in the locker room, and it's pretty simple. I was like, where was that second half team in the first half in terms of our energy level and toughness and aggressiveness on defense? And not that we played perfect, but we just played the first half. We just didn't have any energy. And, Mark, it was an unusual game day for us because 4:00 tip. We normally, as you know, shoot around in the morning, but because of Utah's testing protocols, we would have had to get up at like 7 or 7:30 in the morning and, wouldn't have been able to shoot around till 10 or 11. I just thought, well, let's let the guy, we got 3 games this week. Let's let him sleep in, let them get their legs, get, a lot of energy. And we came out and played like we were in mud. So that may not be the way to approach this in the future. I'll see what happens the next time. We play at noon on Thursday, so we better be ready to go there. But, the second half, our guys really, I thought, Deshaun Schwartz, really proud of him because he did not play very well in the first half. He missed some bunnies. His head was down. He was frustrated. But he really picked it up in the second half. And to finish with 15 and 15 shows a testament to his mental toughness, which is great to see out of one of your seniors. So he was, and obviously Jabari Walker, we talked about him before he came on the air. He just plays with such energy, and 15 and 10 and 16 minutes. Kid makes plays, man, and our players, you can tell they love him. McKinley loves playing with him, and really, really proud of him as well.
Yeah, with that kind of efficiency, maybe the head coach would give him some more minutes, huh?
Yeah, there's times where you look at Jabari and you say, yeah, he should be playing more minutes, and there's other times he's got 4 fouls in 8 minutes, and
right.
You can't play him, and so he's learning, and again, the thing I love about Jabari, he is not scared of anything or anybody, and he just plays with such passion and joy, and he, just got to keep learning. That's what your freshman year is for, is to keep learning and. From your mistakes and also for your successes. And, hopefully the rest of our guys can learn from Jabari as well.
Boy, Ted, I think back just a couple of games ago, you're coming off the UCLA game, and I asked you the postgame about getting out rebounded 3 or 4 games. You went plus 12 against Oregon, plus 18 in this one, and your offensive rebound numbers, you had 15 offensive boards in this game.
And that, Mark, as you and I have talked, that's one of the question marks with this team this year has been our ability to offensive rebound. And boy, tonight we did a great job. Deshaun keeps going. Maddox Daniels keeps going, getting hands on balls. Evan ended up with a bunch as well. And so he's so hard to box out. He had 3 and Deshaun had 4 and Jabari had 4. Those are big time numbers, especially, when you shoot 35% for the game, you shoot 27% in the first half, there's going to be some offensive rebounds. So yeah, that's another way you can win a game. And through a 20-game league schedule, you got to figure out different ways to win. Tonight it was offensive rebounding, and if we don't offensive rebound, we don't win tonight's game.
So did you tell McKinley after that 4th assist, hey, wait to set the record at home, or what?
It's the first stat I looked at after the game. I looked at the 4, and so obviously Ty and Jay Humphreys, what an accomplishment, and I just wish our fans could be in the arena to see him, and we'd stop the dang game and give him the game ball, but. We probably won't do that. We'll just keep playing and let him keep racking them up. And it's harder to get assists on the road sometimes, Mark. I don't know why. That's just the way it is. But, yeah, he's McKinley's a special player. Tweaked his shoulder there in the second half. Hopefully that's going to be okay. But, Utah, hopefully their kids that got a little injured there. They went small in the second half. Didn't do a very good job on Tim Allen, but he's a good player. And, his 19 points came on 16 shots, which – isn't too bad, but overall really good effort in the second half. I qualify it by saying the second half by our guys.
Yeah, well, good stuff. Listen, we know how tough it's been to get a win in Salt Lake City, so congratulations on this one.
Gets last year's taste out of our mouth a little bit, Mark, which is kind of nice.
Yes, sir. All right, congratulations. That's the head coach, Tad Boyle. They get the victory today, 65-58, as they knock off the Utes of Utah in.
Okay, we'll go ahead and continue with the general media. Pat Rooney, do you want to kick us off?
Hey, Tad, with Jabari Walker, I know you just talked to him a little bit. The last 2 games, I think it was 8 fouls in around 20 minutes or so of action. Obviously, he struggled with that. What specifically did you say to him in practice leading up to this? What kind of adjustments did you want out of him to keep him on the floor?
Well, number one, he's just got to play smarter, I think. And, it's part of it's scouting report, Pat, and part of it's just, making smart plays and staying away from the silly fouls. And that's what Jabari has to do because he's 3 tonight in the first or early in the second half. And, we want to – we're really good when he's on the floor. And I think especially with Dallas being out, Jariah, Jabari, Evan, good 3-man rotation there along the front line. And but the biggest message to him, Pat, was play smart, learn from your mistakes, understand that the definition of a foul is when the official says it's a foul. So you got to figure out officials, what they're letting go that particular night. I was thinking about this the other day. We played at UCLA, ultra physical game, ultra physical, and there was not one, hand check on the perimeter called all night. And then we played at home against Oregon, and there were a couple of ticky-tack, hand check calls. So it's going to be called differently by different officials on different nights, and that's your job as a coach and certainly as a player to figure that out. And that's the lesson that Jabari has to continue to learn. But he's going to be a great player, I'm telling you.
Okay, Jake Shapiro.
Tad, we saw in the first half some guys starting to hang their heads after missing a couple early shots, and just, understandable given what you were talking about with the energy level. But to come back in the second half and to have a really sound defensive half and then kind of get that momentum flowing, does that say something about the team's mental ability this year?
I think so, Jake, absolutely. And that's, that's the mental toughness that you're talking about is, okay, how are you going to win a game tonight when you shoot 35% as a team? How are you going to win a game when you're not at your best? And that's what this team hopefully learned tonight, because you're not always going to make shots. And it's funny, you look at the free throw line, and I think, we had an awful night at the free throw line. We shot 75%, which is basically, above the national average. And I felt like, we underachieved at the free throw line because we've been shooting them so good. So, but yeah, I just felt like the mental, and I mentioned Deshaun because in games past, in his career past, that rough first half might have done him in for the night, but tonight it didn't. That shows the resiliency that a senior is supposed to play with. And, the key was coming out of that second half, getting 3 straight stops. We scored on our first possession, kind of got our energies going. We got 3 straight stops. They called a timeout. We got another couple, tied it up, and then, then it was a battle from there.
Okay, Justin, go ahead.
Coach, Utah was doing some real damage in the paint in the first half, especially the low post. Just what adjustments?
26-8, Justin, if you're counting at home. 6 to 8 points in the paint. We talked about that at halftime.
And just what kind of adjustments did you see on the court just to kind of lock the back door, if you will, slow them down and just prevent them from continuing to operate with impunity there?
Well, number one, ball screen defense, would really help. Our ball screen defense was atrocious in the first half. Secondly, no personnel. Know that Timmy Allen is going to drive the ball. You can go under on ball screens. You got to get through them to get on, but you got to get through them and square him up. So guarding the ball screen defense, and then it came down to toughness. And that's what you have to play with. You have to play with unbelievable toughness to beat Utah. And we didn't do that in the first half. And that's why the numbers were what they are. Now, second half, we did a better job of that. So, again, the offensive rebounding and our defensive energy and effort in the second half were the key. But I just challenged our guys at halftime to answer you. I mean, I just challenged their toughness, and they responded.
Okay, Hart Bassani.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. The graphic on the Pac-12 network said this was y'all's first win at Utah since 2012. Do you think that that's anything of significance that you'll use to talk to the team, or do you think that's just a stat that we as broadcasters like to put out there? What's it for you?
I don't think means much hard because every game's a new game, every year's a new year. So what happened the last 8 years really is, I can tell you this: our players don't think about it, other than the fact that the returners know how we lost here last year. They know the gut-wrenching feeling that we had, at the end of the year. They know how the game, ended. And so they had a little bit of, I think, taste in their mouths that they wanted to get out. Now, we didn't come out and play like it in the first half, so I can't credit, that at all. But, look, Utah's a good team, and they're always tough to beat in this building with or without fans. And just proud that we got this done because, road wins in any league are tough. And I asked Coach Roan, because Coach Roan mentioned that stat to our team in the scouting report. And then at practice yesterday, our second team was giving it to our first team. And I blew the whistle and said, was it 1912 since we've beaten Utah, or what was it 2012? Because we were playing like we hadn't beaten them since 1912. And, you're not given anything. You have to earn everything that you get in college basketball.
Okay, we got time for two more. We'll go Pat Rooney first.
Tad, we saw Keyshawn limp off. Looked like he might have turned an ankle. Any word on just how significantly he might be injured?
I have no idea, Pat. He was a little gimpy, and asked Raleigh and if he could go at halftime. He said no. So it was an open floor deal. He's just trying to go too fast and just got to slow down a little bit. But hopefully he'll be okay.
Okay, we'll finish with Neil Welk.
Hey, Coach, just a quick question on your team's depth. Is this as balanced a team as you have had for the last several years, given the fact that you've got Jariah scoring big one night, you've got Deshaun one night, you've got McKinley one night, all the different guys that are contributing?
Yeah, absolutely. And, guys coming off the bench, Maddox Daniels and Jabari Walker can both score the ball, obviously. Tristan DeSilva is going to be a good player. Nate Clifford got some minutes tonight. He's going to be a good player. He struggled. He had some good looks. It just didn't go in. But, yeah, I got a lot of confidence. I've said this before to you guys. Even Luke O'Brien, who didn't get in tonight, I got a lot of confidence in. So we've got depth. Now, some of our depth is young. Jabari comes in as a freshman. Keyshawn's a freshman. Neek and Tristan are freshmen. Hopefully we'll get some Luke some minutes here as this thing plays out. But no, I love our depth, and sometimes it's unproven depth, but these are nights that you learn about yourself and you can take as a freshman and learn from, and hopefully be better next time you get in the game.